If money feels a little tight right now, you are definitely not alone. I hear from so many followers here on the channel who are worried about finances, especially once we get past that age of 50. And I completely understand because everything is so expensive right now. But here's what I find really interesting. By the time we reach this stage in our life, most of us have already picked up a lot of valuable skills without even realizing it. Things like crafting, thrifting, sewing, painting, decorating, fixing things up, all the kinds of things that come to us naturally, but it's exactly the thing that someone else would love to learn and to pay for. I started my own journey teaching crafts affordably here on YouTube when I was 53 years old. Nothing more than a phone, a tripod, and this craft table in my furnace room. I want to share today 7 realistic ideas, things that you can actually do that I generally believe in, and several of them I've done in the past, so I know they work. I'm not going to promise that any of these ideas will replace a full-time income, but if you can make a couple extra $100 a month by doing something you already enjoy, that could make a real big difference. So here are 7 realistic ways for creative people over 50 that you can do to make some extra money with skills you already have. One of the easiest ways to get started is simply flipping thrift store finds. If you already enjoy thrifting, chances are you've walked past things 100 times that just need a little bit of creativity or a little bit of cleaning up. Think about picture frames, wooden trays, baskets, small end tables, candlesticks, decorative bowls. These are the kind of items people walk right past, but with a little bit of imagination, they can become something really beautiful. And here's an example. If you find a wooden tray at a yard sale for, let's say, $3, you bring it home, clean it up, give it a little paint, or maybe add a simple design on it, and suddenly that $3 that you've spent has turned into maybe $15 or $20. The only question that you need to ask yourself when you're browsing is, what could this become? The nice thing is if you just start really small, just try one little project and see what happens. Items like this sell really well on Facebook Marketplace, at craft markets, at local community sales. One small tip though, if you're selling online, make sure you're taking good photos. Everyone's phones now take really amazing photos. You just have to set them up properly. So make sure you're taking pictures near a window with natural light, and that makes your item just look so much better. Another fantastic option is selling your handmade crafts. If you are already a crafter and you enjoy making things, this is going to feel like a really natural next step. Small items are often the easiest to start with. Things like knitted or crocheted items, handmade candles, seasonal decorations, watercolor or oil paintings if you're an artist, greeting cards, junk journals. These are all kinds of things people love picking up at craft markets because they feel unique and personal. Even if something sells for like $10 or $15, selling several items at a market, it's gonna add up really quickly. Craft markets, church fairs, community events, these are all great places to start because the people are already looking for handmade items. They come to buy and they have cash in their pocket ready to buy your handmade items. Another idea, which I absolutely love, is selling patterns or instructions for things that you already know how to make. This one surprises a lot of people because they don't realize that the knowledge they have is actually worth something. If you knit or crochet, you could create a pattern for something you've made 100 times. A scarf, a blanket, a toy. If you sew, you can write up instructions for a bag or a pillow. If you do woodworking, you could share plans for a simple shelf or a box. Create it once and people can download and purchase it over and over and over again. Platforms like Etsy or Shopify make this really straightforward to set up, and digital products like this can earn money just kind of quietly in the background without you having to do anything extra. Another idea that works really well is teaching small craft gatherings. And when I say that, I don't mean anything formal or intimidated. I just mean like a small group of people getting together to make something fun. You might host a craft night where people can learn how to make handmade greeting cards, junk journals, watercolor bookmarks, macrame plant hangers, painted wooden signs, seasonal wreaths. And these kind of gatherings can happen through like a community center, library, church group, or even like right in your home. People typically charge around $20 to $30. Of course, it's going to depend on the project that you're doing. But what makes this so enjoyable is that people just aren't there to learn a craft. That sense of community is something that people are really hungry for right now. And I find that when I talk to anybody that are doing these craft gatherings, they sell out. They kind of cap it at maybe 5, 7 people, and they do one every once or twice a month. Sold out. That is really something that you can kind of think about doing with whatever you are talented with. I love this idea, selling vintage craft supplies that you find while you're thrifting. And this one is perfect if you're already spending time at the thrift store, at a yard sale, at an estate sale, because you start seeing these things everywhere once you know what to look for. Things like vintage buttons, lace and ribbon, embroidery hoops, knitting needles, crochet hooks, old sewing patterns, vintage craft books. Crafters who love junk journaling and mixed media are always searching for materials like this because they're unique and you simply can't find them in regular stores. Sometime you'll find a bag full of buttons for like $2 and you can sell them in small bundles to other crafters for several times that. You can list them on Facebook Marketplace or Etsy, and it doesn't take very long to get an inventory to get started. These sell like hotcakes. Here's one that I really enjoy, creating curated theme bundles. Instead of selling items one at a time, you're gonna gather a few pieces that work beautifully together and then sell them as a set. For example, you might put together a kitchen theme bundle with a vintage recipe book, a wooden cutting board, a wooden spoon, maybe a piece of vintage linen like a tea towel, or you could do like a living room bundle and do some vintage books, a brass candlestick, a small picture frame, a decorative tray, or you can put together a craft bundle, vintage buttons, lace, ribbons, a few sewing tools. People are often happy to pay $20 to $40 for something like that because you've already done the hard part. You've found all the pieces, you've brought them together in a way that looks intentional and beautiful. Facebook Marketplace is the perfect place to sell these. Sometimes it isn't about finding that one great item. It's about finding a few things and just things that all just kind of belong together. And we already are fantastic thrifters, so I know you are going to be really good at this. Another idea that I think is really underrated is to offer upcycling or refurnishing furniture for other people. And this one works so well because not everyone has the time, the space, or the confidence to do it themselves, but they would love to have it fixed up. Think about your neighbors, your friends, people in your community. Someone's got a tired dresser sitting in their garage and they don't know what to do with it. You offer to transform it for them for a fee, and then suddenly that piece that they were going to donate becomes something that they're excited about again. And people are willing to pay well for this because the alternative is buy new, and new furniture is so expensive. So you don't need a big workshop or fancy equipment. You just need a small covered space, some basic supplies. We already have the skills here. So you probably have everything that you need to get started. Word of mouth alone can keep you busy once people start seeing your work. Okay, I had 7 ideas, but I'm gonna throw in a bonus idea, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's the one that absolutely changed everything for me. Start a YouTube channel and share what you know. I know what you might be thinking. I'm too old for that. Nobody wants to watch me. I don't have the right equipment. I thought every single one of those things, but when I posted my first video at 53 years old, I was filming on an old Android phone. You can go back and see, they're pretty bad. I had a thrift store tripod and this craft table in my furnace room. I had no idea what I was doing. I just showed up and I shared what I loved and what I was good at. And here's the thing about YouTube, most people don't realize, it's not about being young or flashy or having that perfect setup. It's about being genuinely helpful. There are women and men out there right now searching for exactly what you already know how to do. They want someone who feels like them, who can talk like them, who has been where they are, and that person could be you. Over time, YouTube can generate income through ad revenue. It can also open doors to things like you can't even imagine, memberships, digital products, brand partnerships, a community full of people who feel like friends. I started with nothing and it became my full-time life. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it because I am 58 years old and I have a phone and I go to the thrift store, I film things, or I'm showing you DIY tutorials. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. A lot of people think they're too old to start something new, and I do not believe that for a single second. The skills you build over decades of crafting, creating, problem solving are more valuable than you probably realize. You don't have to start big. You don't have to have it all figured out. Sometimes it's just picking one small idea, maybe just booking a table at a craft sale or heading to the thrift store and putting a collection together and trying to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Try it and see where it leads. And I also have our Upcycled Society that might be an interest to you. It is a group of like-minded people. We all gather there. I have exclusive videos. I have hundreds of digital downloads. I have a private Facebook group where you can share your projects and ask me any questions. If you're interested in that, I'll put the link down below in the description, and come on over and check it out. And I would love to know which one of these ideas resonates with you. Head to the comments if you have better ideas. Let me know. Everyone always goes there and they're reading, and you might inspire somebody else with one of your ideas. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And if you love this video, I am sure you're gonna love this next one. Come on over and let's keep hanging out.